Hello and welcome to Hit the Rewind, where I deconstruct lyrics from my songs, talk about songs that I like, and give appreciation to wise wordsmiths. I'm your host, the diabolical daredevil of the double entendre, aka John Wikipedia, aka AJ Bayman. And today we're going to be breaking down lyrics from my song, Always Be Together. This isn't really an easy song for me to be able to break down. This song is about my grandfather, who I was very, very close to, who passed, and it took a lot for me to be able to write this, and so even after I'd done it for a long time, I didn't listen to it. I had to. It was tough to be able to even get through all the verses and everything. It was just something that was really just hard to be able to talk about, to put, just to really even and put out there. So now I think since I wrote that in 2010, and so it's now 2021, and so it's been some time. It's been some time. But some days it still hurts like it happened yesterday. But anyhow, so the song starts off, my father didn't want me. Now, I'm coming in hot, and so I'm already starting off, my father didn't want me. My father didn't want me, so you overcompensated for the love I wasn't getting. I was hated. And so I was saying, because my biological father, I've only seen him one time in life. And so I'm talking about how, he just sort of bounced, and and my grandfather was like right there to be able to step in, and so that's a whole other story. We're not even gonna do that today. This song is about this. And so I'm saying, my father didn't want me, so you overcompensated for the love I wasn't getting. I was hated. And so hated, when I say I was hated obviously by the man that didn't want to know me or to have anything to do with me. And I go on to say they called me your favorite, but I consider it more like a bond, adhesive. You attached yourself to everything I was on. And so I know that I wasn't necessarily my grandfather's favorite. It was just that because of our relationship, it was like, it felt like I was his favorite. And I'm pretty sure that my brothers, maybe my cousins have the same experience. Like he just had sort of a way of making you feel special, or like you were all that mattered while you were talking to him. And so, I considered it more like a bond, adhesive, like we were just like this. And I said, attach yourself to everything I was on. Stay close. We formed something nobody could separate. So God's the only one who can reparate the pain that I feel when I meditate and wish you were here. And so I'm saying that it hurts so much, because that it's nothing can replace that relationship. You know what I mean? And so it's, we formed something nobody could separate. So I'm leaning on God to be able to get through the pain, to be able to get through how I'm feeling. God's the only one who can reparate the pain that I feel when I meditate and wish you were here. Because that's all I really found myself doing. Is just wishing that he was still alive, that I still had him. Wearing transparent emotions just to make sure we're clear. And I'm saying that, and I'm just putting it out there because these feelings I sort of wear on my sleeve. And in this, for the purposes of this song, it's good because I'm trying to express to you all how I feel. And then I said, it still hurts. So I hope that I didn't write this wrong, because this ain't one of those I like that songs. You had to like that strong. Just, like I said, going on to say that it still hurts. Even after all that time, it still hurts. So I hope that I didn't write this wrong. That being a song, like I don't want it to be like, just super melancholy, something, or like something that, that you wouldn't want to listen to, because I'm not trying to be a drag. I'm really just trying to get across the way that I felt about this man. So I'm saying, I hope I didn't write this wrong, because this ain't one of those I like that songs. It ain't like, it's not like a head nod or you know what I mean, like or just something you just listen to. Probably wouldn't be on the radio or nothing like that. This ain't one of those I like that songs. You had to like that strong. He had to like that strong to make me do the unpopular thing. Now I am a binoculars dream. And so I'm saying he had to like that strong to make me do the unpopular thing, because it's not a head nodding song, and but it's a binoculars dream in that I'm just exposing the way that I feel, not really hiding anything, not really holding back. So I'm saying, and then I said, now it's out in the open, and it's been a lot of years, and I still can't do the verse without fighting my tears. Blind from the water, I'll recite while I cry, because I really wasn't ready when I had to say bye. But I remember, I am watching, so we'll always be together. And so that's like the chorus of the song. So it goes into that. And so I'm saying that I remember, because when my grandfather passed from there was no way that I was going to be able to do this with no difficulty. So my grandfather passed from complications of a stroke, and so his most of his last days he wasn't able to speak, but I would go and talk to him, and the times that he would be awake, he was able to nod, he was able to move one of his hands. And so I remember saying to him one time that that I still that I wasn't ready for him to go, because that I wasn't ready for him to go because I remember saying to him that I wasn't ready for him to go, because I wanted to be with him like always. When I was a kid, I would spend the night at his house, and so like he would have I'll go there, it'd probably like a Friday, maybe a Saturday night. He always watched baseball on TV, which I don't even know how you can watch baseball on TV, but he loved it. I can only watch Red Sox games because I'm a fan of that team. Otherwise, I'm good. Good with highlights. But yeah, he would be watching baseball, and he would get out he used to buy Brigham's ice cream, and sometimes it was a flavor I liked, but he liked coffee ice cream. I wasn't a huge fan, but it was ice cream. So I had some of that, and it was just like the best thing to just be able to hang out with him. And I used to say like granddad, like I always want to come to your house, like I always want to be with you. And he said I always want to be with you too. And it was, and so I mean, like, that's why I named the song "Always Be Together," because I remember that even though he may not be here physically, I carry him in my heart. So yeah. So that was the first verse. That was the first verse. Sheesh, super difficult, right? So then the second verse, I'm saying, and my mom tried to raise me in the way that he showed her how. And she's got a little help since her and daddy took the vows. That's my dad, not my biological dad. I told you I don't know that guy. My father, Mark Bayman. Since her and daddy took the vows, and even though I'm not his blood, he always treats me like his son, and gave me his last name. But now who will I become? It's very self-explanatory. Just who God called me to be. Unlocked the man, y'all had the key. So I'm saying y'all, I'm talking about him, and I'm talking about my father and my grandfather. Y'all had the key. Control, Alt, Delete. You always said that I was gonna preach. My grandfather did, and my father did, to his credit. You always said that I was gonna preach. Now it ain't far out of my reach. Minister at the time, Minister AJ, in the Godspell, preach the gospel. Not a part of the nation, but he rocks well. Mystery Roswell, Area 51 to all my peers that know me on the surface, so I fight to hold my tears back. And so when I'm saying Mystery Roswell, well, Minister AJ, let's start there. So I'm saying Minister AJ, in the Godspell, preach the gospel. You know how you see the preachers on TV. I don't always do that. So, but I'm, and God said, that, like that stuff. In the gospel, preach the gospel. not a part of the nation, but he rocks well. So I don't always preach that way, but I do pretty well with the way that God gives me. Mystery, Roswell, Area 51, to all my peers that know me on the surface, so I fight to hold my tears back. I don't tell everybody how I'm feeling all the time. I'm not the type of person who talks about my feelings all the time. This is not something that I do. Give me a break. I just got into therapy not too long ago. So I'm learning to do that. But it's not something that I typically did or even wanted to talk about. So I'm saying, Area 51 to all my peers that know me on the surface, so I fight to hold my tears back. Area 51, place where the aliens supposedly are, whatever. And so then I'm saying, looking at your picture, I just wish that you were here. My life is like a car. My situations are a deer. And I just need somebody who can tell me how to steer through hell, because I wouldn't be here if I were near you. And so, largely, that's what it felt like to me. And so, I'll say my life is like a car. My situations are a deer. And so they're in my way, and I just need somebody who can tell me how to steer through, get around hell, because I wouldn't be here if I were near you. And I largely felt like it was just hell having to deal with life without my grand. But I remember I'm watching, so we'll always be together. That's, so that's like him saying that. I'm watching, so we'll always be together. And so third verse is me reminiscing the day that he passed. It's Sunday morning, and my father called me upstairs with my brothers just to tell us that our nightmares, the worst one that we'd have, had come true. And we realized we'd have to live all of our lives without you. And you told me you were leaving, but I didn't want to believe it. Cornerback your words, because I didn't want to receive it. He said that he was leaving. Like I said before, because of his stroke, he wasn't really able to speak. And so he, like the last time that I saw him alive, he like motioned, like, he pointed to himself, and he motioned that, that he was going to fly away. Meaning that he was going to be going to heaven soon. He was going to go on to be with the Lord. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to let him go. I wasn't. Now thinking about it now, it was selfish on my part to want to keep him here, because I know that the life that he was living was not one that he wanted to live. I can only imagine when you can't be independent anymore and you have to depend on people to, you're getting changed to use the bath, to, when you use the restroom because you're incontinent, or, you can't have any alone time, really. Like, you just, I know that that's not the way that he wanted to live. And so, but when he told me that he was leaving, I didn't want for him to go. And so I said, cornerback your words, because I didn't want to receive it. So, when like we watching football and the DB bats down the pass that the wide receiver is supposed to catch, like, no, I wasn't trying to hear it. And I said I wanted to go because I wanted to be with. But this is a chosen generation though, and I am chose to lead it. Now, this, and what I was saying by that, this was one of the events. This is the event that led to me getting saved for the first time in my adult life. Now, I said the first time because life. But I just my grandfather was a leader in our community. He was a leader in our churches. He was the bishop of the second jurisdiction of Massachusetts. And he was so many things to so many people. He did so much work in the community, some of which I didn't even realize. How they print the obituary, and it kind of has that stuff. So at the program at his funeral, like, he was a part of some things. Like, I knew that he was active, but I didn't realize how active he actually was. He was such an important person to so many people. Not even just where we live. He was really entrenched in our national church, the Church of God in Christ. And so anyhow, in saying, just seeing that, it was like, I was already inspired by his life. I already wanted to be like him. Now, he went to a few too many meetings for me, but I wanted to have the type of impact that he had on people's lives. And so I went on to say, it's a chosen generation, though, and I am chose to lead it. So I chose to delete it, and I said all bets off. Turned to God and said that I'll pick up where he left off, which is such a big responsibility. But it's something to aspire to. And I still do aspire to that. Turn to God and said I'll pick up where he left off. I had to get myself together, get my house in order right. So getting saved, make sure the devil fears, because he's dealing with the Morganite. And so my grandfather's last name was Morgan. And so with my cousins, my older cousins and my younger cousins, we during that time, we referred to ourselves as the Morganites, because we hadn't been together. We hadn't all been together in so long, but it was like, when everybody got together, somebody said it, and it was just one of the things that that kind of stuck. And so saying, so like I said, make sure the devil fears, because he's dealing with a Morganite. Won't be borderline straddling the fence. So I'm not going to go back and forth about the decision. I've decided that this is what I want to do. Won't be borderline straddling the fence, because my praise is like paper dollars. Act like I ain't got no sense. I thought I was so clever back in the day, right? And then I said, carry a legacy. My name's a symbol like I'm Prince. When he changed his name to the artist formerly known as Prince, and it was like the symbol. So I'm just saying, like, carrying a legacy. My name's a symbol like I'm Prince. That's being a Morganite. It's the will of God. Now I am convinced. So it was like, it took for that to happen for me to understand where I was supposed to be, where I belonged. And I didn't, just like any other church kid, like I kind of grew up like just wanting to do my own thing. Like, I really wanted to be in the church. I wanted to be saved, but it was like, I want to do so many other things first. But it's like this happened. I'm like, I don't want for his legacy to die on my watch. Now, obviously, like, there were others. Like there are others. There are, a bunch of us. I got cousins. I got brothers. Like my uncle, my aunts, my mom, my dad. Like, there's so many others who also carry the legacy. But I'm saying, for me, I'm speaking for myself. I didn't want it's like I realized how important it was, how much it meant to me when he wasn't here no more. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to see that die. Carry a legacy. My name's a symbol, like I'm Prince. It's the will of God. Now I am convinced. But still, I remember. I am watching, so we'll always be together. And so on the song, man, it'd be hard for me to listen to this song still. But on the song, my son, who was, I think, 5, when I wrote the song, I had him sing. The chorus like at the end, just sort of like going from me singing it to him singing it, sort of representing the younger, like the younger me, like the way that I still looked at my grandfather the same, like the way that I looked up to him since I was just a very little kid. It just brought me back to like, what I used to say to him when we used to eat Brigham's ice cream and watch baseball on Friday nights after Friday night service sometimes, or on Saturday night. That was it. That's always be together.